Hare Krishna. We continue reading from teachings of Queen Kunti. We are on prayer number 24, cutting off ties of affection. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Rishnins. So Kunti Maharani is praying to Lord Krishna. She understands that she's very attached to her parents' family and her husband's family. She's saying, please cut off this tie of affection so that I can be attached only to you, my dear Krishna. She wants only that. So we continue reading from the purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Although when Caitanya Mahaprabhu was only 24 or 25 years old, he had a lovable, beautiful, and a devoted, lovable, beautiful wife and a devoted, affectionate mother. He gave up everything and took sannyas, the renounced order of life. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu was a grihast, a householder, he was so much honored that merely by the direction of his finger, he was able to enlist thousands of people to join him in a civil disobedience movement. In Nadia, the city where he lived, his position was very respectable, and physically, he was very beautiful. Yet he gave up his young, faithful, beautiful wife, his affectionate mother, his position, and everything else. This is called Vairagya, renunciation. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was in Nadia, in Mayapur, in Nadia, in the city where he lived. When he was still married, before he took sannyas, he organized the first civil disobedience movement. Thousands of people joined in that. They were marching, peaceful, very peaceful. They were doing Sankirtan, the first disobedience movement. They were, because the Qazi had stopped the Sankirtana of the devotees. So Lord Chaitanya gathered all the devotees and they marched to the Qazi's house. And the Qazi was scared because Lord Nishingadev had come in his dream. And so the Qazi was apologetic and he told Mahaprabhu that neither me nor my descendants will ever stop this Sankirtana movement. Until today, that is going on. That is going on. That no descendants of the Qazi stopped the Sankirtana movement. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he exemplified Vairagya, renunciation. He was only 24, 25 years old. He was having very good position in society, and yet he took up sannyas order. He gave up everything, gave up his mother, gave up his wife, gave up all his students, gave up that position, and he left home. So he exemplified renunciation. If someone who has nothing to possess says, I've renounced everything, what is the meaning of his renunciation? But if one has something and then renounces it, his renunciation is meaningful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's renunciation is unique. No one else could give up such a happy home, such honor, and such affection from his mother, wife, friends, and students. Even Advaita Prabhu, although the age of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father honored Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yet still Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave up everything. Why? Just to teach us. Apani Achari Prabhu Jivere Shikhaya. He personally taught the whole world how one must detach oneself and become a devotee of Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, if we have nothing and we say, okay, I've renounced the world, what great is that renunciation? I mean, anyway, they didn't have anything to begin with. So, it's very easy to renounce. But if someone is in a very comfortable position, has a lot of opulence, has loving family dealings, very loving relationships, has very good name in society, is honored by one and all, has so many students looking up to them, is being honored everywhere. It's difficult to give up that position. But yet, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave it up. He gave it up. He personally taught the whole world how one must detach oneself and become a devotee of Krishna. Therefore, when Rupa Goswami resigned his post as a government minister and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Prayag, he fell flat before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and offered obeisances with his prayer. So Srila Rupa Goswami, the leader of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, before, so he was a very high position in the government of the Nawab. He was a very high position of Nawab Hussain Shah. But he resigned. He resigned to follow Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He gave up everything. Very opulent, very, very opulent, very rich, like palaces, you know. They had the palaces. But he gave up everything. And then when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he offered obeisances to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he offered the prayer. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvashe Namaha. You are most magnanimous, he prayed, for you are distributing love of Krishna. So Srila Rupa Goswami, he's saying that, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are the most magnanimous. Why? Because you are distributing love of Krishna. When Krishna came 5,000 years ago, even he never distributed his love. But when he came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago, he's freely distributing to anyone who will take it. He's saying, chant this holy name and you will swim in the ocean of love of Krishna. Now we may say, but we are chanting, but where is all this happening? But we are not chanting purely. If we chant purely, we will experience this love of Krishna. But we can also see gradually, that there are changes happening. You know, there are changes happening. So by chanting the holy name, that we can experience this love. Love of Krishna is not an easy thing to obtain because by this love one can purchase Krishna. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed this love of Krishna to anyone and everyone, even to the 2 drunkards, Jagai and Madhai. So we are all trying to become Krishna. We are saying, I am Krishna. We are trying to imitate Krishna, you know, or we are thinking after I get liberated, I will become Krishna. But that is just all a what is that? A phantasmagoria. It's just a fantasy that we are living in. Instead, by love, we can purchase Krishna. We don't need to imitate him. We don't need to. It's not our position to imitate him. It's our position to love him. And when one is actually situated in a loving relationship with Krishna, Krishna is completely purchased by the devotee. And that's the reason Krishna doesn't give his love easily to anyone and everyone, because he then becomes the servant of the devotee. He has to personally make sure the devotee is okay. He personally does it. So he, in fact, becomes the servant of the devotee. So Narottam Das Thakur has therefore sung Dina Hina Yatachila Hari Nama Udarila Tara Sakshi Jagai Madhai. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what did he do? He's freely giving love for Krishna to anyone, everyone, even to the 2 drunkards, Jagai and Madhai. They were not qualified at all, but yet he gave them love for God. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so magnanimous that he delivered all kinds of sinful men simply by allowing them to chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So we may say we are very sinful, so I cannot chant. No, chant anyways. Chant. And we will come to the position. The evidence of this is Jagai and Madhai. At that time, of course, there were 2 Jagais and Madhais, but at the present moment, by the grace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his process of teaching, so many Jagais and Madhais are being delivered. So Lord Chaitanya delivered 2 Jagai and Madhai that time. But here, we are more sinful than Jagai and Madhai right now. As the age of Kali Yuga is progressing, we are becoming more and more degraded. But by Lord Chaitanya's mercy, what's happening? That so many of the people are being delivered. So many are being delivered. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is pleased, he can give Krishna prema, love of Krishna, to anyone, regardless of that person's qualification. If a person is giving charity, he can select anyone to take it. So if we are giving charity to someone, it's at our discretion. I want to give it to this one, or I want to give it to that one. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya, he's giving us in charity love for Krishna. So he can give it to anyone he wants. He can give to anyone. It's his discretion. He can select anyone he likes to give Krishna prema. Without the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding Krishna is very, very difficult. So we may think that, I can understand Krishna. I know Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 3, Manushyanam sahasretu, Manushyanam sahasreshu, kaschid yatati siddhaye. Kaschit yatati siddhaye, Manushyanam sahasreshu, kaschit yatati siddhaye. Out of many millions of people, hardly one tries to make his life spiritually successful. So Krishna is saying millions of people are there, but one out of millions of people is trying to get some perfection in life, trying to understand spirituality. People simply work like animals, not knowing how to make a success of human life. Once human life is successful, when one understands Krishna. Otherwise, one remains an animal. Anyone who is not Krishna conscious, who does not know who Krishna is no better than an animal. So here we are saying harsh words. Oh my God, how come such harsh words are being spoken to me? But this is to bring us to understand that, hey, right now you're in this body of the human being. You're able to understand knowledge. Wake up, sleeping soul. It is not to criticize anyone, but to bring us to our senses that, oh my God, if I don't understand Krishna, I will remain an animal. So let me try to make my life successful. Let me try to understand Krishna. So, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this concession to the fallen souls of this age. Simply chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and you will be delivered. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special concession, Kirtanad Eva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha Param Brajet, Bhagavatam Canto 12, chapter 3, text 51. So Lord Chaitanya is saying, you just chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra and you will get perfection. You will be delivered from this material world. Lord Chaitanya is saying, freely. Doesn't matter what is our qualification. We have qualification, we don't have qualification. Whatever is our position. He's saying you chant this Hare Krishna mantra and you will be delivered. And this is Lord Chaitanya's compassion. It is his compassion and on all of us who are very fallen in this age of Kali. He's saying you chant and you will be delivered. So by his mercy, we are able to approach Krishna easily by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Is that okay? So we'll stop here for today. Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Kunti Maharani ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Wishing you all once again a very happy Ekadashi.